What is up, my homies? It's your dude, L. Charles the Great, and you're probably tired of hearing my voice, so I'll get right into my Ready Player One Part 3 synopsis. Alright, so I'm going to get in some of the topics that, because of what I talked about in Parts 1 and 2, with the visuals, like, overriding the descriptions, and to make it more interesting, they had to undercut some things, and because of undercutting those things, they had to undercut some of the central climaxes, and I'm just going to give some examples here of how they did it, and I'm going to give my opinion of how they turned out. And let me tell you, I think I'm going to anger some people, so strap in for this one. Alright, so part 1. So, you know the Mick Disney Corporation, It's like the corporate foundation that's trying to take over the Oasis. Okay, so because a movie usually has a central villain in an action film, like Ready Player One was made to be, they had to make the corporation a much bigger part of the story. Like, the game itself was kind of the underlying enemy in the book. Like, the IOI Mick Disney Corporation kind of helped with that theme. Like, they kind of nudged it along. But they became so centralized in the fact of having, like, a main villain in the conflict that the whole thing about the don't hate the player, hate the game was completely flipped and turned into the cliche. Because, you had the I-Rock character voiced by T.J. Miller, who was pretty rad, not gonna lie. But, it was kind of lost on me how he was a big part, because in the book, he barely existed. He was just some school kid jerk who, tipped off the IOI McDisney Corporation for something somewhere. He wasn't even important. He was just this little crybaby. But they made, these two huge villains. So you got Nolan Sorrento, played by the guy who played Krennic. I did not put enough effort into researching these people. And then you had the I-Rock character. So, while they made fun Hollywood villains, they didn't really have any payoff, They just ended up dying in the end, and it was sort of like your classic one in that. And then the book had such an original sort of deal with it, and it was so original in the fact that don't hate the player, hate the game, and it took an entirely new spin on it, because the game was, tearing up people apart, and there was this one part where he's, going insane because the game is just consuming his life, and it's really interesting, and you can connect it to some real-world themes, and I am out of time, so I'm going to talk about one last topic. I promise I will only have one more part, alright?